Hi, I'm Jimmy with Holistic Magnified. I'm glad you're here. Today we're talking about whole plant extraction and something called the Entourage effects. In the last video, we covered the endocannabinoid system, your body's balance network, a system that plant cannabinoids, also known as phytocannabinoids, can interact with as inputs. Now let's talk about how those plant cannabinoids actually show up in a finished product, because not all cannabinoid products are built the same way. The hemp plant is a complete chemistry kit. It produces cannabinoids, it produces terpenes, which are like essential oils, it produces flavonoids, plant lipids, and other supporting compounds. It produces different types of cannabinoids from CBD to CBG to THC and many more. Every one of those compounds has its own shape, its own behavior, and its own role in the plant's chemistry. When you extract the whole plant and preserve that broader chemistry, you get what's called a full spectrum extract. When you strip everything else away and keep just one purified compound such as CBD, you get what's called an isolate. A lot of products on the market are built around isolates. There are practical reasons for those. Isolates are predictable, they're easier to standardize, and they can be cheaper to formulate with. And for some people, an isolate might be the right fit, but an isolate is not the same as the whole plant. That's the key. So to give you another example, think of vitamin C versus an orange. Vitamin C can be fuel for your immune system. Many products add the vitamin C isolated molecule called ascorbic acid, with the goal being to help your immune system. Now, ascorbic acid can help, but it's not nearly as effective as getting the vitamin C in the full plant form, such as from an orange. That's because other things, such as the essential oils, the smells, the terpenes in the orange, they help activate your immune system better to utilize the vitamin C in ways the ascorbic acid molecule alone cannot accomplish. However, it's easier and less costly for manufacturers to add ascorbic acid to the products than it is to add full plant orange extracts. The compounds in the hemp plant don't exist in isolation in the plant. They exist together. CBD sits beside CBG, minor cannabinoids sit beside major cannabinoids, the terpenes sit beside the plant lipids, and all those compounds shape the way the final extract behaves, and that's the basic idea behind the entourage effect. Think of it like a band. A solo musician can be great, but a band creates something a single player alone can't. The bass holds the bottom, the drums set the rhythm, the vocals carry the melody, and the guitar fills the space between. Each part matters, and each part changes how the other parts land. That's how I think about full spectrum hemp extract. It's not one compound shouting by itself, it's a more complete conversation. That's why Holistic Magnified builds many products around full spectrum extracts. Not because full spectrum sounds good on a label, but because the formulation logic is stronger. CBD has a role, CBG has a role, minor cannabinoids have a role, terpenes and the carrier oils have a role. Every ingredient needs a reason to be there. A real example we use in some of our products is organic black pepper essential oil. We use it in our all-day tinctures because it contains a terpene called beta-caryophyllene. Beta-caryophyllene is a terpene that researchers have studied for its relationship to CB2 or cannabinoid 2 receptor pathway. That gives the formula another intentional layer. It's not there for flavor. It's not there because it sounds fancy. It's there because it has a documented reason to be there. That's the difference between stacking ingredients and formulating. Stacking is throwing popular compounds into a bottle. Formulating it is asking why or what system are we supporting? What inputs make sense? What does the lab work show? What does the ratio communicate? What belongs here? What doesn't? That's the Holistic Magnified approach. So, a quick recap. Whole plant extraction keeps more of the plant's natural chemistry intact. Isolates narrow the product down to one purified compound. The entourage effect describes how cannabinoids, terpenes, and other plant compounds work as a broader matrix instead of isolated pieces. And that's why our core tinctures are built around the full spectrum extract by design. In the next video, we'll go deeper into full spectrum versus isolate and why that difference changes how you evaluate any cannabinoid product. If you want to see the ingredient rationale or formulas, the resource section breaks it down compound by compound. So from Holistic Magnified, balanced through science, guided by intention. I'll see you next time. Be well.